friends, blues fans, back for another installment. This week I thought maybe I'd just share a little bit of my practice ideas, and maybe they'll be helpful to you. As I've mentioned on this channel many times, I love playing rhythm guitar as much, sometimes even more, than playing lead guitar. It's just great to lock in with a rhythm section, and I'm inspired by a lot of piano players and their ability to play a lot of melody in their chord accompaniment. And while I say that, I want to say that it's quite possible that all of my favorite guitar players do that too. I mean, you listen to those first Eddie Van Halen records, and the guy's got an amazing accompaniment style behind, Diamond Dave, where he's not just playing a lot of chords, but he's playing a lot of melody. Hendrix, that way, a lot of jazz guys, and of course the list goes on and on. Anyway, so one of the things I'm often practicing is how to play, what a lot of people would say is chord melody, right? And in the style of music that I often play, which is sort of that fine line between blues and jazz, you have to kind of keep your melody somewhat simple and somewhat rhythmically consistent. So, a good example might be the thing I just played at the opening part of this video. I was playing blues in B flat, and I had this melody going on, which is sort of reminiscent of some of those cool guitar licks behind, like Little Walter, those harp guys when they go, right? So I'm doing it a little bit more in my kind of swing style, but essentially what I'm playing, right, is this sort of A flat, G, and F, and the way I'm harmonizing it is just B flat, D, A flat, kind of like a dominant 7 chord, just those 3 notes. I'm really just playing three strings, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So the next chord is a chord I learned from the Danny Gatton instructional video a million years ago. This is like a 13. So I've got A flat, D, and G, right? This is what it sounds like with the bass, B flat bass, right? And then, part of the T-Bone Walker chord, right, which is, right, that movable shape that we all know. In this case, I might have been playing that. I can't quite remember. I was either playing this or the 3-string part of this 9 chord. I'm not 100% sure. We can go back and look at it. Anyway, I think I might have been doing that, which is straight up B flat 7, A flat, D, F. Though this might actually sound cooler. I don't know. Maybe you should do that. Okay, when we got to the 4 chord, which is of course E flat, I got this chord. This is kind of like this 9 chord, where the chord in question is E flat 9, but I'm playing F, G, and then this is D flat, the 7th, right? And then I kind of cheat and do this sort of James Brown kind of, right, where I'm playing C on the top of this E flat chord. And then I played, which is a 1st inversion E flat dominant 7 chord. So I was playing 4 strings, I think, here. This is G, D flat, E flat, and B flat, right? So that phrase went, right? Then I went back to the 1st first part. My 5 chord, which is F7, I like to play sixths a lot, right? The intervals of sixths. So on the F7, I'm playing on the 2nd and 4th strings, and I'm using my pinky and my ring finger, and then I play C on the top. So that was my 5 chord, right? And then the tricky move at the end, on the 4 chord, I went, which is kind of like a, you know, sort of like a swing kind of jazz guitar thing. You might hear, yeah, you know, all the sort of West Coast swing guys that we love so much will play that kind of sort of Charlie Christian kind of comping, right? So I played that 9 chord on, this is the turnaround, right? I went 5, then on the 4 chord I went, played that 9 chord, I played a diminished chord here, and then I landed on kind of what's like a 6-9 chord. This is G, C, F, and B flat. This is sort of implying this chord. B flat, 6-9, and then I do this sort of move where I play B flat, and then it's like technically it's a 1 diminished chord, but you have heard it if you've listened to the Count Basie band where they play, right? Sort of a variation on that idea, right? So that turnaround was 4 chord, right? Kind of nice. Almost right there, I heard that sort of Robert Johnson thing at the end. So it'd be kind of interesting to combine the bassy move with a little Robert Johnson turnaround. Let's try it. So here's 5, then. Anyway, there you go. It's kind of fun. I hope this is fun. Hope you enjoy it. I do this kind of stuff with all kinds of tunes, and you know, just trying to kind of figure out how to take a chord and play, you know, all of the notes that might go with that chord as the melody or the soprano, right? Like on a B flat chord, typically I would play melody on, you know, on the top 3 strings. So on a B flat chord, here's the 3rd of the chord, right? If this was going to be my melody note, then, right? Here's the 5th, here's the 6th, 7, right? We already talked about that 6-9. That's kind of a cool B flat chord that has the B flat in the melody. You could also do that 13 chord, the Danny Gatton chord, and I bar with my index finger like this, right? So now I have the B flat on the top, right? Here's the 9 on the top, the 2nd scale degree, which is C, right? And then there's the 3rd back on the top. So now I've basically gone through like the whole chord scale. Right? And harmonized all those notes. Right? And we do that on, you know, major chords, minor chords, and dominant chords, then boy, you're well on your way to being quite an accompanist and playing some nice melody behind a soloist. Again, you want to kind of keep it simple, but I think it's kind of fun. It's sort of reminiscent of the swing era kind of shout chorus type of stuff where you hear the orchestra playing behind a soloist and you hear them playing, some kind of idea together, and it kind of creates a bunch of energy that can be really helpful. Anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me a note. Oh, I always forget to mention, man, it'd be wonderful if you guys could like and subscribe. You know how that works. Anyway, it'd be wonderful, and I really appreciate it. Thanks, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.